Good evening, Karan. Let's wait for a few minutes. I think that teaching assistant is taking some extra time because the students are asking questions. We'll wait for them to join. Good evening, Nitish. Be back. Good evening, Vivek. Evening, Ravinder. Is it a good time to get started? Is the TA session over? Can I get a confirmation? Okay. Okay. So introduction to MongoDB. What a topic. We have been waiting for this topic for last few days because I wanted to give you the feel of a NoSQL database. But I've been talking about a lot about NoSQL databases, but I have not given you the feel of a NoSQL database. So, what is MongoDB? No, Vivek, that's completely fine. I understand the TA session was taking some time. I remember, Vivek, you have asked me two questions and I have looked up those two questions. Like, I've seen the questions. I'll reply to them tomorrow morning. I just forgot about them before. Just when you messaged me, I come to realize you have asked me some questions. Don't worry, I'll reply to them. Okay. Uh, yeah. MongoDB is a NoSQL database. That is true. And which type of NoSQL database is MongoDB? There are a bunch of types. Uh, Let me revise the types once. First is doc type. Second is key value. Third is maybe graph. Fourth is column wide. Sometimes there is also time series. Yeah, time series. So MongoDB is a document database, and these are the most general purpose databases that you can have. Sir, one question. Can you give one assignment and you give one assignment in first class or not third? I've done it. I want to show you whether the output is okay or not. Yes, Nilanjan. Uh, how can you show that to me on this platform? Uh, that is the reason why I was not asking. Okay, deepest. Okay. Yeah, please share that then. Or copy paste. Yeah, you can do that. Please show your result. I'm happy that you have solved the challenge. So those of you who don't remember, the challenge was to look up the files in a directory. Given a list of files, you have to check whether all of them are present in the directory or not. If they are not present, then you have to say no in front of them. Otherwise, you have to say yes. Something like that. You have to do. Let's see what Nilanjan has created. By the time Nilanjan is pasting his code, let me talk about MongoDB in a little more detail. Again, what are the benefits of having MongoDB? There are a bunch of benefits. Yes, scalability is the biggest benefit. So MongoDB has three benefits. First is scalability. Second is uh, I'll call it availability, or fault tolerance. He is saving it in view doubt. This doubt. Okay, wait a second. I just copy it from here and I'll paste it in my Chrome window. Yeah, now I will share my screen and show. Nilanjan, I hope it's okay if I show your solution to everyone in the class. So here is the solution that Nilanjan thought about. First of all, he got the FS module, and then for each file name in the file names, he tries to get the file name, and there is a promise that he has returned, which is if error happens, file present. Otherwise, you make file present as true and save it. Uh, so for each of the files, what you are doing is you are checking if file is present. If it is error, then you are saving false. Otherwise, you are saving true. Okay. Uh, Nilanjan, I have a question to you. Uh, when are you set? Okay, you again call the true function. Okay, that's okay. And then await the read file names and console log data. So file name I catch error console dot error. Yeah. Okay. If error is this, promise is this, this is this, result is this, reject is this. Find the file name. Okay. So uh, if there is a result, then you print the data. Else you print. Yeah, that is good. I think this will work. So I'll stop sharing. This is correct. Now, yeah. So yes, sir. Sure. Zoom it a bit. Oh, you want to zoom it? Okay. Sure. I'm going to zoom it one more time. I was just checking the code. So here is the code. Yeah. So what is happening is this. There is a reject function and there is a response function. There is a there is a reject function and there is a response function for your promise. I would request you to name complete names instead of just res and rej. You should name it completely response and reject. Okay, when there is an error, the reject function is called. When there is a when there is no error, then the response function is called. Whenever response function is called, data is sent here, and console.log, you log the data. If there is a error, then the sketch block is called and the error is printed, which in this case is this. So this is a valid way of solving the problem. Is this making sense to you? Hello, those of you who have not solved this, uh, this is making sense. I'm very happy to see your code, Niranjan. Line number 8 you want answer. Okay. Line number 8, it is basically a call to fs.read file. This fs is a file system, I guess. This is a library in JavaScript which can let you read files, and this line is basically reading this file, and this is the promise. This is the function. This is the callback function that gets called once you read the file. If there is an error, something happens. If there is a data, something happens. So this is the read file function. Okay, does that make sense? Line number 10. Line number 10 is from Ankit. Sir, once please run in VS Code. I'll run in VS Code. Just give me 1 second. Line number 10. Line number 10 is basically in the reject function. Whatever is the reject function for this promise, send this data. This is what this is doing. So if I were his place, I'll write it like I cannot write here. Anyways, I'll copy paste this into my VS Code. Let me see if I can open VS Code. File, file. Come on. Open folder and relevel CRM app. Select folder. In this folder, this is the older CRM backend. This is the CRM app. In this revision of async, there was an assignment, and finder was the function. Okay, I'm going to paste the code here. Control V. I'm going to delete this finder function, and this whole part I'm going to delete. Okay. Now this finder function is going to console log the data. Why is this crying? File names. Where is file names? Okay, this is not needed. Okay. Now this is going to print the data. So I'm going to just delete this part also. Uh, I'm going to save this like this, and I'm going to come here and do finder file names. Just give me 1 second. Let me minimize this part. Okay, I'm going to come here. Sir, why double bracket inside reject and response? That is not needed. Uh, that is not needed actually. Uh, Let me see. Stop sharing. Share screen, and I want to share this assignment. I think I can do away with one of the double brackets. Sir, I've done double brackets in 2D array. Yeah, yeah. So you can do away with this double bracket. You can have just a single bracket here, and that also works fine. Uh, this will also work. I'm guessing. I think it will work. So this is not needed as such. Okay, so stop this. Right now this is fine, and this is the file names. Now for each file name, uh, I'll have the name, whether it is present or not, whether it is truly present in the set or not. So I'll just save it, and I'm going to run this. What is the problem? No, some random problem. Run this one more time. Assignment invalid structure file function and safe extension. Where is the problem? Line number 16. Line number 16. There's something written here, which I'm not sure what it is. Okay. Yeah. I'll save this and run this one more time. Yeah. So the first file is true. This is present. The second file is true. It is also present. The third file is false because it is not present. So double brackets are not needed. Now, if you want to return this list, what you can do is, here is something you can do. You can define an array. I'll just call it let. Why is this? Wait a second. Let me just select. No, this is there's some problem. This should go one tab forward. No, that tab. No, Control Z, tab, and now everything is fine. Okay. So now I'll come here and do tab let. No, that was not file directory error. I had selected something here. I had done control and space, and that actually created a problem in the VS Code. There was no file directory error. What key pressed for spacing? I pressed tab. I selected the code and pressed tab. Okay. Now I can define a result array, which is just an array, and instead of printing it, I can just come here and do result dot push, and I can send data to it. And here I can do the same thing. Result dot push error, and finally I after this I can return result, and then I can come here and say I can do the previous code that I had written is present and print is present. Yeah, I can print is present. Okay. Now if I run this, uh, Is this causing a problem? Is present is a promise. It's a async function. False is there. Result is this. Mm, try everything inside the try block should go one tab forward, and this should come one step back. Now, what is the problem? This should come one step back. Uh, try is, and this should also go one step. This is this tab, and this is inside this tab. So this is inside this tab. Mm, this is inside this tab. Now, what you do is read file names on I. Data is this. So data gets saved here. Result dot push data. Result dot push data. And now I can just do return result. Seems to be correct. Mm, save it. And this one more time. Promise is pending. I can just do await result. Save it and run this. Line number 31. Data is not getting access to this one. Why is that the case? Do I have any other data variable? Do I define data as let? Wait, file name. Mm, the data on line 31 is not getting access to data parameter in try block. This is the try block. This whole thing is try block. So I don't see a problem there. Mm, file names. Suggest response assert file name. Mm, Sir, file name should come in place of file names. File name where read file names. Read file names should come in place of file names. No, that is okay. File names is a promise that has a that is going to read this file and That is, this is okay. Data is not used. Just give me 1 second. This is a question response. I'm forgetting a little bit of JS. Mm. Originally, uh, first few lines. These are the first few lines. Uh, Synchronous programming. There should be FS. There should be FS promises. There should be FS promises. Wait a second. Let me check. Require FS promises. Why would that be? Promises. This one. No, that should not be the cause of the error. Okay, I'll run it. Just give me 1 second. Let me see. I don't think that's the error. That's not the that's not the error. Uh, okay, so let me do it. Let me do it. So first of all, uh, there's some problem with the problem definition. File names I comes here, and this should be no. This is the error. This should be the case. That's it. I don't need this promises. I just need a function call here. If I run this, uh, file name's not a function. No, this is. Just give me 1 second. Read file names. Here's a promise. I await. Hmm. Send. Let me save this. No, I just give me 1 second. This is a promise. I just need a way to read this promise. I forgot the way to read this promise. Uh, dot. Hmm, data read promise. Just give me 1 second. I think I can do it. If you give me, uh, if you give me 1 second to revise the sync as rate, I should be able to do it. Mm, okay. So I'll just do it like this. I'll remove this and I'll remove this also. All this is not needed. I'll remove this try also. This is also not needed. I'll just come here and instead of reject, of sending anything to reject, I can just do result dot push this, and I can come here. Yeah, exactly. So result dot push this, and now I'll save this and run this. Okay, sorry. Uh, I don't know. I'm lost in this. This just came out of somewhere, nowhere to me. So I'm going to stop this discussion for the time being, and then we'll come back to this after some time. Maybe tomorrow in the next class I'll discuss that, as many of you are saying it. Yeah, yeah, sure. Sorry for the error. Mm, no worries. Okay, sure. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, I've solved this question, but I don't know why I send you code later. Sure, we can optimize this. No worries, sir. If we can optimize this, then can share the code. Yeah. Okay. Sure. You can share the code later. Let's come back to the class. Yeah, I'll start in a second. I'm just, it's just stopping me from, no. Resolve, resolve, resolve error. I don't. Yeah. Okay, let's start. Let's get started. So we were at MongoDB. Hmm. We are at MongoDB. Scalable. So there are two reasons. One is scalability. Second is tolerance, and the third reason is schema less. You don't have to design the schema before. Now this is virtue, and it's also good and bad. This is both good and bad, because if you don't have a schema, you don't know what kind of data you have. So if you have to do some kind of analytics, it might be a nightmare. So, and if you are running a very big application, you have to decide beforehand a lot of things. So you have to decide what will be the access pattern, how will you access the data, how will the data work out, and then you can. What is schemaless? Schemaless means there is no strict requirement of what you can save in a row in MongoDB. Okay, so it's not. I'm not going to tell you that in SQL, oh sorry, in relational databases, you have a table structure where there's a maybe serial number, there's a name, and there's a roll number, and there's a subject. So you have to have this schema for every row that you insert. But here you can insert whatever document you wish to insert into the database. Okay, so that is why it is a schema less database. Okay, so now we have also discussed scaling in detail. We have discussed what is vertical scaling, and what is horizontal scaling. The idea is you can have either a very big machine, or you can have bunch of small machines. And the limit is that you cannot have a very large, I mean, you cannot have a very large single machine, but you can have as many small machines as you want. That is the idea. What is availability and fault tolerance? That means if there is an error somewhere in the so what you can do is you can replicate the data set, replicate the data set, and there are very good replication capabilities that are provided by MongoDB. So what happens is always there will be at least one or two copies that you can create of the data, and then if one of the server goes down, then you can access the data from the other server. That is fault tolerance and availability. Even if there is a error, there can be good that you can still work with the data. So that is availability and fault tolerance. Also, all data have multiple copies. All data will not have. You can have multiple copies. There's a command called as replica set that you can run. Yeah, it can handle large amount of data without downtime. Sir, can you start from scratch MongoDB? I'm already starting from scratch, Vivek. This is just an overview of what MongoDB can provide. One is the fact that it is scalable, available, and schemaless. If that doesn't make sense, don't worry about it. How we decide which one replica set, which one to replicate beforehand. Then you don't have to decide that beforehand. Even after some time, if you feel like this data set is important to me and I don't want to lose it, you can define a replica of that data set, and suddenly you have two copies of the data set. You are confusing availability replicate this thing. No worries. Let me explain two things to you, and then it will become simple, easy. So first is sharding. Sharding is, suppose I have a big set of data. Is it free? No, it is not free. It charges money, of course, but for big companies it's not a problem. So you can run it on your own computer for free. There is a community edition in which you can use your own computer as a server, and that is free. But if you try to use a uh, MongoDB Esther, which is a cloud service that MongoDB provides, then it will charge you some money. So suppose you have a big data set, it has a lot of documents in it. You can convert it into smaller databases, into smaller machines, and that is called as sharding. There will be pieces of this machine. Yeah, MongoDB Compass. I'm going to help you install this in just few minutes. Let me just clear out basic doubts first. Suppose this is a data set, you can divide it into three parts and save it on three different machines, and that is called as sharding. Then there is also replica set, which is if you have a data set, what you can do is you can create copies of this data set, and these are present in a single set, which is called as replica set. So you will define that I'll have three copies of this data. So this replica set will have three copies of the data. You will always write to the primary copy. There will be a primary copy, this copy, and all write requests will go to this copy. Okay, and then this copy can communicate with the other two copies to save copies of the data. That is replica set. Are number of copies limited? No, there is at least minimum three copies you need. Minimum three copies are needed for replica set. Above that, you can decide how many copies you want. Of course, it will cost you. Yeah, replica set is a set of servers that have copies of each other. Suppose this is A, this is data set A. You can save A at three places in a replica set. Once you define a replica set, three copies of the data will be saved, or whatever number of copies you define, that many copies of the data will be saved. And then what will happen is write operation will go to the primary copy, and then the data which is updated on the primary copy will be communicated to the other two copies, so both of them can be updated. Okay, Hariharan, that does that make sense? You are creating copies of the data. If you want to have another copy, there's just a single command that you have to run, and suddenly MongoDB will create another copy of the data. It will add one more replica in the replica set. It's same, yeah, it's the same copy. It's the same data, exact same data. Why do we need them? Suppose one of the server goes down. There was a hardware failure on one of the servers, Vishal. Then what will happen if you have only one copy of the data? Either your service will go down, or there will be bad data that you will serve. Okay, does changes in yes, all the changes will go to the primary replica, and then they will be communicated back to. Yeah, it is expensive, of course. So you always choose three replicas only. You don't choose more than that. Okay, yes. I mean, you can choose more replicas also, but to save cost, you can choose three replicas. Okay, that is good enough for most of the applications. So, example of which data to replicate, which not. Most of the data you should replicate. If production data is there, you can replicate. If some data for this is there, development environment data is there, dev environment data. That is some data you may want to not replicate. So if you have a so typically in companies, what will happen is there is a dev environment, which is in the pipeline first, and then there is a production environment. Okay, in dev environment, you test your application. There you may feel like you don't want to replicate the data, but production data you typically want to replicate. Okay, Abhijit. Okay, but dev environment also put on server. Yes, dev environment also is on the server. So it's okay if, yeah, so in big companies it is on a server. Everything, even your own coding that you do is on a server. In a company like Amazon, what coding you do is also you do it on a server. You connect to a server. I mean, you connect to a EC2 instance and then do your coding. You don't do anything on your laptop. Okay, yeah. So replica set. And now Vivek, I want to ask you, if you have multiple copies of the data, can you always serve your client? Doesn't matter if one of the machines is down, you can still serve the clients, Vivek. So that is called as availability. That means your service is more available to people. Similarly, if one of the one of the shards, which is, you remember sharding, I was dividing data into multiple chunks. If one of the shards is down, then at least you can serve the other two shards. Okay, so both sharding and replica set provides you additional availability. Okay, that's what availability is about. And this replica set is, which is better, both you typically combine both. You have to do sharding if you have lots of data, Radhya, because you cannot save all the data in one machine. And then you also want to do replica set to safeguard your data in case of failure. So both of them are good. Of course, sharding is necessary. Replica set is something you can avoid. Cost effective is sharding. Yeah, if cost effective is sharding, but sharding will not save you. Yeah, replicate and then sharding of, no, it's not like that, Aradhya. First you do sharding and then replication of each shard. It's not like replica and then sharding of each replica. That's not the way. For each of these will have copies of it them. Okay, can you explain sharding again? Yes, Naranya, sharding is nothing but dividing the data into smaller chunks. Okay, so you have a data set somewhere, and you cannot save the whole table in one uh database. I'm going to discuss database in more detail, but suppose you have data set and then you want to not save it on one machine, you can divide it into multiple machines. We need at least one replica set, right? We cannot test otherwise. We cannot test otherwise. At least one replica set. We cannot test otherwise. What does that mean? Why do you want to test? Oh, yeah. Got it. You need two actually. You need two. Yeah, actually, you need two, because if one of them is down, then you can check the majority and then decide. Okay. So, therefore, you need two replica sets, two replicas in a set after one is down. Yeah. Test changes. Yes. Two replicas. So, there are three replicas in this set. Minimum three is required. But if one of them is down, at least you will have two still running. And then one of them will become master and the other will become the slave. Okay, which one of them will become the primary, and writes will come to here this, and they will be replicated here. Okay, Vivek. But we have two copies. Yes, we have two copies. We have three copies of the data. One of that copy went down, the two are still remaining. Then what will happen is other copy replica. Not getting your question. I'll wait. You have three copies. One went down. The two are running. At this point, if you want to test if you are right or wrong, you want to make consensus between the two. That is what is happening here. That is what Archit is talking about. Anyways, um, so what are the advantages? Again, it is horizontally scalable. There is availability. It's reliable, and it has a schema less. All of those are advantages. Now let's do the actual stuff with NoSQL or with DynamoDB, and try to understand DynamoDB from the basics. Now I'm going to discuss the basics. So I'm going to compare. Vertical scaling is using buying a bigger machine. Suppose you have 1,000 people. 1,000 people are living in a town. One way is to have a very tall story building, which will have all 1,000 people living in there. Or you can have smaller houses where in each house there are, say, 10 people, and then you can have 100 houses like this. So this is called as horizontal scaling, and this is called as vertical scaling, having a big building or having a smaller buildings. Okay, Vivek? Similarly, if you have lots of data, you can have a very big server, very tall machine, or you can have very small machines which share the load of the data. This is horizontal scaling. Uh, Horizontal scaling is, of course, better because you can scale as much as you want. There is no limit to horizontal scaling as such. no practical limit to horizontal scaling. Vertical scaling, you cannot scale after a point. Okay, but the problem will occur is some of the data sets. Yeah, some of the databases like RDBMS limit is you cannot have a thousand. You cannot have a million terabyte machine. Can you, Vivek? You cannot have a million terabyte machine right now, and it will cost a lot of money. But you can have thousand machines, each of 100,000 terabyte. You can do this. You cannot do this. Does that make sense, Vivek? So that, and if this machine fails, then suddenly you are lost. But if half of these, 5% of these machines are failing, then also you have a huge amount of machines running on your server. 950 machines are still running, which is good. Okay. So that's the beauty of horizontal and vertical scaling. Now, let's talk about relational database management systems. There's one place where vertical scaling is better. Uh, it is easier to do vertical scaling in case of relational databases. It's very difficult to do SQL based scale. You cannot do SQL based databases on horizontal scaling that easily. You have added difficulties of uh, it's very difficult to do sharding in case of relational databases. Okay, so uh, it requires horizontal scaling requires a lot more management. Vertical scaling, you don't require that much management because everything is on a single computer. Anyways, you have RDBMS and MongoDB. uh, you have seen you have seen MySQL, so I'm going to take the example of MySQL. Okay, in MySQL, the highest class is database. The whole database is a collection of what? Database is a collection of what? In MySQL, database is a collection of, not data, tables. Exactly. Database is a collection of tables. Tables is a collection of rows, and each row has some columns. Yes. So this is MySQL. Now let's look at MongoDB. In MongoDB, you have database, which is again similar to the database of MySQL. Instead of tables, you have collections. What is a collection? Collection is a collection of documents. A bunch of so table is similar to collection is similar to tables of database, and the key property is a collection will contain similar types of documents. Okay, if a collection is for orders, then it will only contain documents of orders, it will not contain user documents. Okay, and a collection a collection is a collection of documents, and each document is a JSON like document. Documents are JSON documents. You can think of them as JSON. I'm going to discuss what exactly they are, but you can think of them as JSONs. You can think of documents to be JSON files. Okay, Joseph, JSON files. You have bunch of JSON files stored as a collection, and these collections are stored in a database. A database can have multiple collections. Each collection will have similar kind of documents. Each document contains fields which are key value pairs. So that is the overall structure of MongoDB. I'll give you an example uh, of a document, collections of document. Yeah, I'm going to. give you an example of a document, and then I'll help you out understanding the collection of documents. Okay. Suppose this is a document name, Anshul, age 30, uh, website, say Anshul www.anshulyadav.com, and then hobbies and all, etc. Suppose this is that document you have. Then this is the user document. So there will be bunch of similar documents. There will be a document for Karan, there will be a document for Joseph, there will be a document for Likita. All of these documents will be saved in a collection called users. Suppose we are using a website, so a collection users will contain all these documents, and these documents have these three fields. And then this users document will be in a database for the application that we are using. Does this make sense, Karan? Is collection similar to table? Yes, yes, Karan. It is similar to the table in sense collection contains all each row is similar to a document. Each row is similar to a document, and collection contains a bunch of documents. So there are no rows and columns, unlike in yes, there are no rows. There is no table as such. Only collections of documents. Okay. Yes, Joseph. Joseph, is it clear? There are no rows and columns. There's only documents. Okay. So I'm going to show you some demo of this in few minutes. Uh, are these written in objects having key? Yes, exactly. They are written. They are written as objects. So what you have is an object which gets converted into a block bson file, and that bson file gets saved in db. Okay, this is in your code. Whatever node object you are using, you can convert it into a bson file, and that bson file can get saved into db. I'm going to tell you what bson file is. It's very similar to json, but that's what is happening. Okay, you can directly save objects. You don't have to convert them into rows and then save them. Okay, Nilanjan. Okay, now let's spend some time talking about this bson thing. What is this? You already know about json, and there's also bson. Bson is a format. Yes, both of them are formats, and bson is basically binary json. Binary json. Yeah, bson is a format that is used in saving documents in DynamoDB. Oh, sorry, MongoDB. It is also used in Cassandra and other databases. And what happens is basically the idea is you have the same structure as JSON. Uh, Basically the same structure. You have key and value pairs. Uh, BSON also have key and value pairs. But this JSON file is saved as a text file. Okay, so everything is converted into text and then saved. Whereas in bson, the file is saved in binary format. Yeah, the file is saved in binary encoding. Okay, 0 and 1 exactly. So they do some extra compression on the json file. So this is a compressed format of json. Compressed format of json. So it will take lesser space. First of all, any advantage over? Yeah, so there are these advantages. First advantage is less space, less small size. I'll call it a small size, a smaller size. Bson has a smaller size. It supports Mm, no, no, no. Bison, it typically takes a smaller size. If I'm not wrong, it takes a smaller size, but it is written here. It takes a smaller size. I'm not no, I'm not sure if I'm getting I'm getting two wrong data, so I'll not write this point. There are two different places which are saying, some is saying it is it's lightweight, but in the notes it is saying, it's larger size. So I'm not sure what is the right answer. Let me check once. Just give me 1 second. Let me do a Google search. Is Bison file smaller than JSON? Is not mandated that BSON file also smaller than, but it is surely skips the record that are relevant. While in case of JSON, you need to parse. In the main reason using, yeah, I mean, it's typically smaller, but not always. So I'll just create a asterisk in front of it. It is typically smaller. The second point is it's easy to search. BSON means binary JSON, binary JavaScript object notation, binary JavaScript object notation. This is bson. This is another file format. What he does, it it is a format in which you can save data. Just like in JSON you can save data, bison would be bison would be a good name. Example, I'll show you examples, Joseph. I'll show you some examples of JSON. um, mm, just give me 1 second. I'll just show it to you on internet itself instead of showing you on MongoDB. uh, Bson file example. Example, explaining Bson with examples. This is an example of Bson file. Hello world is saved like this. Okay, this is the Bson file for hello world. Okay. Oh, you want to zoom? Okay, I'll zoom. This is how the document for hello world. Hello is the key, and world is the value, and this is the Bison file. Bson file. Okay, happy? Yes. Joseph, are you happy? This is like object. Yeah, this is exactly object. You want to see it once again? Okay, I'll show it to you. Uh, Lost internet. So this is an example of Bson file. Hello world. Hello world in JSON gets converted into these digits. Ignore these comments right now. Okay, these comments are not required. But this text here is what will be the binary notation in case of Bson file. Okay, x x is for hexadecimal. When you write numbers as numbers as hexadecimal, you start them with an x. Therefore it is called as hexadecimal. Yeah. So anyways, that's how binary JSON file. For all intents purposes, you can think of Bison as same as JSON. There are some more extra data types that it provides. Easy to use, easy to store. It is easy to store. It provides two more data types. One is date, and the other is binary data. We can save binary data also in Bison file, and it is easy to search. It helps in searching. So when you do indexing on the database, it is easier to do indexing with Bison file as compared to JSON file. So all these reasons, Bison is used as the file format. In how, I don't know about that. Yeah, I just know that it is easier. Maybe there are some optimization algorithms that are used, Why it is not in key value? It is in key value, Likita. Third point. Date and binary data are two more data types that are available in Bison file. Okay. Likhit. Okay, Likhit. Oh, sorry. Your name is Likhit. There was a Likhita. There was a girl in my class whose name was Likhita. So I'm sorry, Likhit. Why it is not in key value? It is in key value, but uh, uh, it is in key value, Likhit. But actually, it's in binary, so you cannot see the key value. So there are some text here, which is this is hello, which is the key, and world, which is the value. So when computer reads it, it can read it as key value. When we read it, it is not looking like key value. Okay, Likit. Okay, so that's bson file. So there you can use DynamoDB in any of those data, any of the applications. There are a bunch of applications that use DynamoDB. One is your Aadhaar. Aadhaar UPI that you use. Sorry, UD UIDAI Union. Yeah, no, UIDAI. Yeah, UIDAI. There was an organization which is responsible for Aadhaar card. It uses MongoDB as the database. Also, eBay uses it, and there is MetLife, which is basically employee benefits organization. They typically use MongoDB. There are a bunch of more organizations that I have talked about in the previous lecture. I'm forgetting about it. I think Netflix also uses MongoDB for some of its data. So yeah, MongoDB is very much famous in the industry. Okay, we'll take a short break right now. So basically, UI uses their local storage in MongoDB. No, local storage. No, not local storage. All our data, our personal information that we have on the data. So you have a Aadhaar card. All that information is saved in. So where they typically store it in some government data center. In governments, what they do is they don't save it on the cloud. They save it on their own data center. Okay. Can we use SQL and NoSQL for single projects? Yes, you can use both of them, Himanshu. For different kinds of data, you can use different kind of. Yeah, they use MongoDB. Yeah, they use MongoDB uh, application to store data, but they may not use the MongoDB cloud service. Okay. Yes, Nilanjan. Okay, Himanshu, one example that typically, what about Redis? Redis is also used by a bunch of organizations. Uh, I'm not sure, I'm not remembering. So, whenever you have caching, uh, people use Redis. I'm not remembering the exact organizations that use Redis. I think that was discussed in the previous lecture. But whenever you want to do caching, you can do it with Redis queue. Yeah. You can combine Redis with MongoDB as well, if that is the question. I'm still guessing the question. Uh, Ankit, do you want to ask a little longer question? It's really important to know low level design. Yeah, Deepak, one thing is for sure that development, if you want to learn development, then low level design and high level design are very important. And by the way, who was the person who wrote about Chat GPT last time in the last class? I'm forgetting your name. It was Archit or Arpit or Archit. Archit was. Yeah, Archit was the guy who wrote it. I have been hooked to Chat GPT since morning. In the morning, I started using it, and I have not left a sing. I have not spent 1 minute away from it. I'm constantly. So I'll tell you a little bit about myself. When I was in school, I used to ask a lot of questions in my classes. Even today, if I attend a class, I ask a lot of questions. Whenever I have a doubt, I just ask the instructor. And when I first started using Chat GPT, it was like a childhood dream that came true. Suddenly, fu- uh, um, a tool has all the answers to all the questions that I can ask. So yeah, chat gpt has been phenomenal for me. I've been using it for understanding all the things that I uh, uh chat gpt. So I'm using it to understand all the things that I had ever had questions about. It's not 100% accurate, but then teachers also are also not 100% accurate. If you're not sure about something, you can check it on the internet. Also, uh, one thing is that you don't also need to be 100% accurate. You just need to understand the key points on the key details. If they're not way off the center, then it's okay. So I just love it. Yeah, definitely replace Google for yeah, exactly, Archit. It has also replaced. I'm thinking Google will go obsolete very soon with this kind of application, or they might develop their own Chat GPT. Anyways, it's also open source, so Google can get the data. Google can get the models also. Anyways, let's take a short break. When you come back from the break, I'll show you the answer to the question that we were stuck on, and also I'm going to help you. Yeah, I'm going to help you out in installing MongoDB, and we'll run some commands on that. Okay. See you after the break. We'll have a break for 18 minutes. We'll see you back at 35. Okay. 9:35 p.m. Break till. Okay. Break till 9:35 p.m. See you at 9:35. Bye. Okay. Hello, students. I hope you are back from the break. Yeah. So, first thing first, yes, London. Uh, Before the break, we were talking about a question, and I was not able to solve it. I have the solution now. If you want, I can show it to you. Okay. So, yeah, let me show it to you. Uh, so, here's the solution. It is very similar to what Nilanjan has given us. I'm creating a promise and I'm reading the data, and then I'm sending in the reject and response functions. This should be response and this should be reject. Sorry, this should be not response, this should be resolve. Resolve, this should be reject. Again, this should be resolve and this should be reject. Okay. So now what I'm doing is I'm sending the data. I'll minimize this promise first. I create a promise and then I read the data. The error that was happening was in if it will be reject. In if it will be, oh yeah, it will be reject here. Reject. In else it will be resolve. That is correct, Nilanjan. Thank you for pointing that out. Now once I have that, I wait on the data, and if I get the data, I push it into the result. If I get the error, which is the reject function will come here, and push it still into the result. And the error that I was causing was because I was writing something like this. Let me write it like this. I was writing let result is equal to finder file names, and then I was doing console.log result. If I do this, I'm going to print promise, which is pending. Yeah. So now, since async function returns a promise, I cannot do console.log result. Actually, the thing I need to do is first call the finder function, get the promise, and then on the promise, I have to write then console.log. I can also write then data is equal to goes into the function. So I can also write console, write log, enter. It will automatically write. Yeah, exactly. You can just do data here. This is one more way of writing the same thing. It's a function that takes data and prints it. I save this, run it one more time, and it is doing the right thing. Okay. In the classroom, sometimes I get very nervous because when I make a mistake, I get nervous. So otherwise, this was a easy problem. Let me save it. CRM backend. No, CRM app. No, what is the okay? CRM app is the folder. Commit to main, push origin. Also, when creating the promise, we can use await then and there itself. Creating the promise, uh, I have used await here in line 21. Yeah, you can use that. You can, yeah. Uh, uh, Maybe you can write await new promise like this. But it's okay. I've written data and then await like this. Anyways, let's go back to the class. Sorry for not being able to solve it the first time, but yeah. Errors are part of coding. So now we'll install MongoDB. I have already installed it, but I'll show you the process. Yeah, I'll show you the process of installing MongoDB. Sometimes installation is very easy. All you need to do is do mongodb.com, uh, and then I'll just go to mongodb.com, and there should be a way to install community version. Why is this so big? Reset it. Start free. No, I don't want Atlas. Just give me 1 second. Come to Google MongoDB community server install. Install MongoDB community edition. This is what you want to do. Click on install on. So I'll give you this link. Go to this link. Yes, I agree. Go to this link, and then what you can do is you can install on Windows. Uh, Install on Windows. This is going to uh, consideration MongoDB shell platform support. This visualization, installing community edition. Download the installer. You can download the installer by clicking on the download center. Once you click on the download center, uh, you can decide whatever version you want to use, and whatever package you want to use. Click on download. You can use the uh, direct options, and I have already downloaded this file, but so I'll skip downloading it. Once you download it, you will get some file which is similar to something in downloads. A file similar to this, MongoDB Windows signed MSI. You can double click this file and it will start the process. You can just click on next and next. And since I have already installed, I am not going to install it again. Uh, uh, so you just click on the file and the MongoDB will get installed. Once MongoDB gets installed, you need to change the path of your you need to change the path variable in your Windows. So what you need to do is change environment variables. Sorry, change path variable. No, change environment variable. There is apps. Just click back. Yeah, edit system environment variable. Is it take more than 30 minutes to install? No, it will take some time, but once it gets installed, you can do environment variable. Click on path, click on edit. Yeah, okay, don't worry about it, Neeraj. In path and edit, you can save the MongoDB. Where is that? Where have I saved MongoDB? I've not saved it. um, you don't need to save it. Okay, cancel. Okay, so spend some time installing it, and then it runs service as network or local domain. It runs on local domain, Vivek. It runs on your local computer. Once you install it, you just click on next, and then it will get installed. Not showing option. This, which option is not showing? Run services network or local domain. Yeah, it is required in Mac. What did you do, Vivek? Okay, I'm getting. Local domain. You can select local domain. You don't need you don't need service as network right now, Vivek. Okay, you can use local domain. What message am I getting? Hmm. So once you have installed it, you will get something called as Mongo DB Compass. Once you open it, you will get this whole window. And in this, there will be, this is running on this localhost. It's asking password if I select local domain. Yeah, that's okay. You can give, uh, you can give the, you can give your Windows password link. Okay. So you can just connect to this, and once you connect it, it has bunch of databases. In this, in these databases, uh, we can create collections, and each collection will have some data. So I think I just want to view, zoom in, control plus plus plus. This is how the compass will look like. You will typically use similar compasses online when you use MongoDB Atlas or when you use any DynamoDB domain. So install MongoDB, and then once MongoDB installed, open MongoDB Compass. These are the two steps you have to follow. Okay. Have you done that? Hello. Have you installed MongoDB? No, I already installed. Okay, not yet. We can choose local or server. You can choose local. You can choose local. Already installed. Current Cora sir. What is the questions, Karan? I'm not able to see your question. Likit has a doubt. Let me view Likit's doubt. Please help me with this doubt. What is the doubt? Pick this doubt. The domain name or password are incorrect. Uh, oh, okay, okay. Uh, this is, just give me 1 second. Let me check what you have to do here. Install service. Okay, okay, okay. You can use network service then. You can use network service then. Don't use the local or domain user. I was thinking it was asking about, you can use yeah. You can use network service. Uh, Run service, network service user select. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Nanjan. It's working now. Okay, yeah, it's working. Hell, happening with me, sir. Yes, Vivek. You can use network service. Or not. Yeah. And take service. It is not working. Yeah. You have to click on. Just look at this diagram. You have to click on run service as network service user, and then you can work it out. Click on next and next. It will work out. Any other one? Anyone else has a doubt? Uh, how to change environment? Okay, just give me 1 second. Let me uninstall and install again, and I'll guide you through the whole process. Uh, Local directory, service path. Okay, so I'll first uninstall my MongoDB. So I'll just come here and uninstall, uh, uninstall. There is remove or add programs. There should be MongoDB. Hmm, hmm. Yeah, this is MongoDB program. I'm going to uninstall it. So I'll first click on uninstall. Okay. Oh, yes, remove it. And it got uninstalled. Similarly, I'll remove MongoDB Compass also. This is also removed. And now I'm going to install it one step at a time so that you can also see how to install MongoDB. So first step first, click. Installation will not take much time. Uh, so I'll show it to you. On my computer, it took few minutes. I'll just go to downloads. I'll click on MongoDB signed. I think you don't need to change the environment variable. You don't need to change environment variable, but let me see if there is a requirement. I'll accept the this. Click on complete. Click in. Don't click anything. Just click on next. And by checking below, you'll install uh, automatically down install the latest version of on the machine. That is okay. I want MongoDB Compass ready to install. If I just click on these four buttons, it gets installed. Very simple. It will take some time. Yeah. Do you want to? Yes. And it might take 1 more minute. This is a simple process. Hmm, copying new files. Hmm, it's a very simple click and clicking forward process. Yeah, actually, my PC is also not very fast. Complete. Use complete current. Use complete. Don't change most. You don't have to change any of the options. Just go through and click through all the options. Just don't change anything. Use the default values and it will work out. MongoDB is installed on my computer now. MongoDB Compass is getting installed. In few minutes, it will also get installed, and we will be good to go. Potato, ha ha ha. Okay, I should not read. I. Mm, okay. Okay. Let me install this and then I'll show you the demo. Mm, yes. Okay. Archit is also done. Come on. Compass is taking more time. MongoDB took very little time. Don't you use Mac? No, I don't use Mac, Ankit. I use PC. I would like to switch to Linux very soon, but I typically use. Previously, I used to use Mac, but then when I do data science, it's not a good idea to use Mac. So, anyways, hmm, it is taking a lot of time. Hmm, is it same, sir? Yeah, I should not have uninstalled. I just wanted to show you the process. You can install Compass. It's a good idea, Nilo. If you install Compass, you can do a lot of click and drag commands that will help you in learning MongoDB. Last time I waited 30 minutes at this part and I bored and shut down my computer. Oh, no, I think last time it ran very quickly. Oh, come on. About the freelance? Okay, Ankit. So now, Ankit, freelance is very easy. Like, this is the next. Yeah, it is downloading and it is also downloading Compass. Now, freelance is very simple. With the Chat GPT, what you can do is whatever. How you joined Relevel? Actually, there was a person. No, sir, please don't share. What did I? No, I'm not about to get. Uh, yeah, Compass is installed on my computer. Very good. So now Compass is installed. I don't have to talk about freelance. Anyways, Archit is saying don't share because they will know my secret now. so so all you need to do is just open Chat GPT. I'll show you. I'll show you my secret of using. So this is the MongoDB Compass. Okay, I'll show you. Just give me 1 second. Chat. Okay, I'm going to show it to you. Those of you who don't know, Chat GPT are living in a dark age right now. So here is Chat GPT. I'll restart the thread. So this is Chat GPT. You can open it by going to Google and writing Chat GPT. It will the first link that you'll see will be the conversational AI link. Once it opens up, there will be a term. There will be just a text box where you can write things. So yes, now yes. I'll show it to you. Yeah. Now what will happen here is it's gonna replace all tech and designer job soon. Yeah. I don't know. So now what you can do is suppose you want to learn a technology. So you can just tell it, could you please teach me React? And then it is going to sure I will be happy to learn React. It will give you a very brief introduction. Reusable component for building user interfaces make it easy to manage and manipulate data with those components. Okay, now you can ask questions like, uh, could you please give me an example of a React component? If you write this, here is an example of simple React component. This displays username and a message. So now this is a component which will have a user property and it has written the code, and this code is not written anywhere else. It has written the whole code on itself, and then it explains the code. In this example, user info component is class based component that extends, and then user info components expects to receive user, and then this component is how you create that that code uh, into the HTML file, and suddenly the HTML file will have the component. Okay, now once you have learned this, uh, you can also write other. Uh, could you give another example of an HTML? It answers everything. Could you give another example of an HTML file that uses user user info component? Yeah. Here is another example of HTML file that uses component. Now you can have another HTML file which will be a complete file with the, yeah, look, they have created a whole file and then user info component is used here. This is the parent component. You don't have to download it. It's just a URL. It's open source and you can just go there. And this is how you can, this is the whole HTML file which will use the component. Okay. Yeah. So yes, I can share it. I can share it. Yeah. So now you can do, uh, uh, you can do other things also. You can ask a very difficult question. Uh, you can ask a question like, what are the types of cyber attacks you can do on a React component? Now it will give you exact cyber attacks. It can solve lead code questions also. It can solve lead questions. Yeah, you can ask a code also. You can ask anything. It will write code also. Sometimes it is wrong, but mostly it is. This is all the text that you can do on a React component. So all these questions that might come to your mind can be asked on this. Can you paste a question from lead code? Oh, I think I can. But it is yeah. Let me do it. Leadcode.com, and I'll paste this easier question first. Okay. So I'll just sign in here. Mm, mm, mm. I'm not. Is it necessary? Yes, it is necessary to register actually. So problems, and I can just paste the problem to some problem. I'll paste. It is a easy problem. I'll not paste a difficult problem because it might get. Uh, yeah, to some problem I'll paste, and it should be able to solve this problem. Given an integer array nums and an integer target, two indices such that they add up to target. So I'll just copy this, and where is the code? Yeah, yes, I'll paste it, and yeah, it's an example that can be used to solve this problem. To some number target indices, indices is an array, and then just difference is this, and then while indices and difference is not defined, return indices. It uses a map to solve this question. It is writing code in JavaScript. Here's the JavaScript code for the question. And it has also returned the solution. It has also shown you how to with comments. Yes, it understands everything. Yeah. So, but you can. Okay, I don't know. Yeah. So this is amazing. This is amazing technology. Now you can do anything. You can do a lot of things with this Chat GPT. So now, whenever you have a doubt and I'm not around, you can just use Chat GPT. I'm ready to crack Google now. Again, don't be scared. Thing cannot replace us devs. Uh, I hope that is true. It is still a hope. I don't think Archit, 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 I'm not sure whether it can replace us or not. But yeah, in 4 5 years, it can replace pretty much a lot of people. Yeah, for the time. So the thing about Chat GPT is it is so scary that I might lose my job, but it is so much fun that I enjoy it anyway. Right now, I'm having the time of my life because finally somebody is answering all my questions. We can ask for its source code. Yeah, ask. No, okay. I'm not going to play games now in the class. Let's go back to the education part. I'm going to open Compass now, and I'm going to teach you some things. Okay. Let me do my job as long until I have it. Once I don't have the job, I'll think what to do. So no need to change. Yeah, no need to change the environment, Hariharan. Yeah, no need to change the environment. Okay, so just click on this. Click on connect. It will connect you to a server. Yeah, but it can be very close, Kanan. It can be very close to a human teacher. A smart student can learn from Chat GPT faster than it can learn from a teacher. Yeah, that is the reason why I said teachers might go away. How env uploaded, like dev, how environment uploaded on a server. So there are different servers for different environments. We basically say that a particular server is our dev server or dev environment, and particular server is our prod server or prod environment. Okay. So, and then there is a pipeline, there's a pipeline software which is used to develop or connect all these different environment or different servers. Okay. So yeah, it depends on each and every technology that you use. Let me create a new database. I click plus. uh, I can define a database by any name, so I'll just call it test dataset, and it will create a database. Collection name is not required. And before MongoDB can save your new data, a collection name. Okay, test dataset, and I'll use a user as a collection name. There should be at least one collection that you need. So I create a database here, and now there is a test database that is created. It has a user collection, which is user table. Okay. If I click on user, this is how the table looks like. Now I can add data into this. If I click on add data, I can import file or insert document. So I can just do insert document, and now this opens up. Every document in test.user collection will have an ID, which you have to have in every document. And this ID has to be unique in all of the documents. Okay, is that clear? Every document will have an ID. ID field. This is a field. It is like primary key in no, MySQL. Okay. Yeah, and in each collection an id can occur only once. Okay, so id is a unique number which is present in every document. Collection and document, I have discussed collection and document, Abhijit, in the in while discussing the difference between rdbms. And I'll cancel this and I'll share the screen, not here. Look here. Look, this is this is MongoDB. At the top, there is database. Then you have collections. Then you have documents. This is the data structure. This is the structure. After connect, uh, after okay, after connect, you just click on add database. Click on plus and database. Plus and database. Write the database name and a collection name. In database name, write test. In collection name, write user. Okay, Joseph. The ID was for document or collection? The ID is for the document. Each document will have a unique ID. Click on add data and you can add a document here. This document will have an ID and then you can define bunch of fields about it. You can do a comma and then you can define maybe name, and maybe the name is Anshul. This is one document. I can also save maybe age, uh, say 30. Uh, uh, Avijit, are you following how document I am creating? This is we are writing document, or we are writing a document into. I'm writing a document right now, and I'll say you have to click on plus database. I'll show you, Vivek. I'm creating a document and I'm saving this document into the collection. Insert to collection test user. So this document will get inserted into the collection test user. Yeah, you can add one more than one document as well. So yeah, so this is one document, age, name. I can have, let's have age and name only. Then I can have another document inside this. It will also have an ID. Then why ID for database, not collection? No, the ID is for collection. Each collection, every document will have one ID which is unique in the collection, not the database. Okay. Uh, then you can have another ID, dollar $OID, and you have to define an ID. I'll just use this ID and change the value here. Copy, paste 7. I'll do 8, and in this I'll have a OID means uh, this is this will generate an ID. This is a parameter in MongoDB which is going to generate a ID using this string. This string will be used to generate an ID which will be saved here. Okay, I'll discuss these operators in few minutes. And I'll have name, let's say Vivek. Vivek. Vivek, would you mind telling us your age? 20. Okay. Sure. And then we can have another ID. And this time I'll have one more. So I'll just paste it. And I'll have 98 and maybe 900. And here I'll have another name. I'm creating multiple rows. Each of these is a document. This is one document. Okay. No, this is multiple documents. Each one of these is a document that I'm using. Okay. This is one document. Then this is the second document. And this is the third document. ID is for each document. In these two curly braces, whatever I write is a document. So I'm writing three documents right now. Okay. Uh, okay. Now I'll have Avijit's name and maybe Avijit's age is 21. I don't know. Avijit, what is your age? Just 21. Okay. A bunch of document is called collection. Exactly. Exactly, Vivek. You're correct. And then maybe what is the city you belong to, Avijit? Can you tell us? Which city do you belong? Kolkata. Okay. Kolkata. Now I have three documents for each of the users. I don't need commas. Commas. Okay. I have to have. I think this will do it. Comma separated and this. Okay. When you're inserting multiple documents, you have to create an array of them. So I've created an array here. You can see I've created an array by writing an array open bracket, then three documents. And now if I click on insert, suddenly city is what I have. Yeah, I'll paste the collection. Just give me 1 second. Uh, yeah, here I have pasted it. How to zoom it in compass? You can do control. You can do control and equal to. Okay. If you click on view, there's an option to zoom in or zoom out. Okay, Lelanjan. Once I have this document with me, I hope you also have this document. You can click on insert, and now you have three values in your data set, in your collection. These are the three documents that you have. You can expand each one of them, and uh, this is how you can insert values in the data set. Mm, you can also remove if you want. So if you decide that you want to remove a particular value, once you can edit the document, you can have a copy of the document, you can clone the document. Can you please remove the steps? What is steps? Can you do you want to see the remove step? Yeah, I can repeat the. Yeah. So remove is very simple. You can click on this button. If I want to remove my own document, I can click on delete, and this document flagged for deletion. And then if I click on this delete, uh, yeah, I can click on delete and it will delete. Yeah, I'll delete this document and I'll paste it again. Click on add and insert document. Okay. Inside this, you can write the document. Let me again add my name. ID will be auto generated, but if you don't specify it, it will not get saved. So if I remove this, Control X, let me see if it will get an yeah. Let me see. Uh, I think it will get automatically generated. Name Anshul and age say 30. No, I cannot insert without an ID. No, let me write a comma. I can insert. Yeah. Okay, it will generate automatically. ID auto generated. Yes, ID will, and it will be a unique ID. So these two IDs were there, but this was not there, so it is used. Very simple. Is that clear how to add documents, Joseph? Just click on add and click on insert document, Joseph, and then you can add documents if you want. Does MongoDB come with a CLI? Yes, it comes with a CLI. You can also use a CLI. But I thought discussing it on the these are JSON. These are BSON. These are BSON files. When you do insert document, you are creating a BSON file. Although it looks like JSON, but in the backend it is a BSON file. How can we edit? There's an edit button here. You just click on edit, and then you can decide if I want to use Vivek's. So uh, add field after name. No, I want to update this name. Yeah, I can do this, and I can say Nilanjan. Nilanjan. Now the document is updated. Click on update, and suddenly Nilanjan's name is. We can change typo also. Yes, you can change typo also. Type also. Yes, you can change the type. Click on the type, and this can be names, and suddenly names will occur. Whatever you want to do, you can do it. These are basic documents. JSON documents is stored on a computer, on a folder. You can think of a collection as a folder, and you can think of these documents as files with these JSON values stored. There is a command line like we use in, yeah, there is a command line also. We can use the command line. So for that, all I have to do is, when you editing, what is on the right side string 32, that is database is test, database is test. uh, this is the type of the data types of these. Yeah, these are the data types. Okay, object id is a data type, string is a data type, int 32 is a data type. Yeah, you cannot change the data type. Okay, once you change it, the data type will change. So for example, here if I want to save age as uh 20 21, I can change this. No, I cannot change the data type. I cannot change the data type, but I can have another field. Oh, I can change it. Oh, sorry. Yeah, you can change it. And now I can have uh, TWNT 20. You can do all this. Anything you want to do, you can do it. So this is called as no. Uh, this is called as schema-less design. There's no schema. The age is sometimes 20, sometimes 30 as a number, sometimes this, and all that is allowed. You cannot do this in uh, SQL. SQL, you cannot do this. Okay. So you can save bunch of documents. You can update their values. There are CLI commands for this, but typically if you are going to use CLI, no, this is a different type of data. This is a different kind of storing. This stores the data differently than how SQL does it. Aradhya. Yeah, edit part is because, edit part is because there are no locking. You just log that file itself, update it, and open it up. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Find is also there. You can filter some documents. Suppose I want to filter. Uh, I'm only inserted in name, which is Anshul. I'm only inserted in the document of Anshul, so I can find Anshul here. Now my document, which has name as Anshul, will come up. Okay. Can you show? Can you show us this using Mongo shell? Yes, I can show it using Mongo shell. Uh, Let me see if I can open Mongo shell. Stop sharing. I want to share the whole screen. So first I'll have to go to the place where I've installed the MongoDB. I'll go here. No, document must be no commands like in SQL. Avijit is no, there are no commands like there are commands. There are commands, Avijit. Documents must be in JSON. Yeah. Yes. Key value pairs. Yes, exactly. So now I'm going to go to C drive, and in the C drive there should be program files. In program files there should be MongoDB. Where is the MongoDB installed? If it is not here, it will be here. MongoDB. In MongoDB, there's server 6.0. There's bin. In bin, there are two programs. One is MongoDB D exe and Mongo's exe. These two files are there. What you need to do is you need to so first of all close this. Close this. This is not needed anymore. Now what you need to do is you need to open your you need to open a command line here. So open terminal. If you open terminal in this window, uh, this is where the terminal is open in the same window. Now what I can do is I can do mongod.exe. Mongod.exe. If I run this, I can do mongo d. Oh, I have to add this. So just copy this. Uh, Copy the path and just go to the environment variable. Change this. Change system environment variable. I opened the terminal by clicking open terminal there. I'll show it to you again. I just click here. No, cancel. Edit this and then add a new folder. This one. Okay. 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 Now I'm going to close this. I'm going to show it to you. Just right click here and click on open terminal. Right click and open terminal. Now the terminal will open up. Now I can probably write MongoD. MongoD is not getting recognized. Mm, Let me write Mongo. Mongo is on. No, MongoDB or MongoDB. No, it's not really. Mongo. No, this is base. Let me use. Oh, that is something I didn't know. So maybe you have to. Okay, we have to. I was not sure. I was not aware that MongoDB shell was not provided. So I can just click here. Mongoose. Install Mongoose. Or Mongoose install, download, install shell separately. Yeah. So there is Mongoose already. So you can just come here and just click on this. Click on this. Yeah. No. You so you need to install separately. You can just click free cloud. You can go to downloader and can install it. This is Mongo shell download. This is zip file. You have to install it, and once it gets installed, you can extract it out. Are you following? You can install the MongoDB shell separately. Sorry, I didn't read the instructions there. Mm, what is? Are you getting angry? Yes. Okay. This is getting installed. I will ask it to show in folder. In folder, this is why is it re-level? It should be downloads. In downloads, I go and Mongoose. I extract all. Yeah, extract and Mongoose bin. Yeah, I can just click open terminal here, and then I can do Mongoose. Mongoose. Mongoose.exe. No, I'm not sure how this is. Uh, if I run this, what's happening? Okay, let me read me. Yes, notepad. Okay. So if I just click on bin and if I click on Mongoose, this is okay. Just click on Mongoose and it will open up. Uh, so first thing is I need to insert the connection string. So this is the same connection string that there. I'll just click on localhost. I'll just click on enter. No, I need the connection string. I'll get it from Compass. Compass. Uh, MongoDB Compass. Uh, Sir, can you use the shell directly from inside Compass app? Uh, I'm not sure about that. So this is the URL URI. Let me use this URI, and I can just click here and paste it, and the Mongo's got connected. Now I'm in test dataset. I can use other datasets also. There is a use command, so I'll just connect it also, and I'll show you the commands directly from this shell script. Okay. Yeah, this is the shell. Okay. So for example, if you want to switch between data sets, you can use command and you can do local. Now switch to local data set. Then you can db local. If you want to switch back to test, you can switch back to test. Now you can have different commands there. For example, show collections. In this, where mongoose is written, where is mongoose written? My queries. Yeah. Oh, here. Oh, sorry. Oh, I'm so stupid. Okay. Thanks a lot for this information. Yeah. Okay. So now what you can do is, suppose you want to see some data, you can run bunch of commands here. Uh, let's run a command called find. So we can do, if you want to find all the names, you can do db dot find, and then in db dot find you can send a script which is maybe name, or say Anshul. Find the data which has name as Anshul. A should be kept, n should be kept small. And if I run this, find all. What's Mongoose? Mongoose is a shell for MongoDB. Find, where is find operator? There should be a find operator. There's no find. db dot find, uh, one. No, I just do find db dot uh, that collection, which is get user. No. Set many. Oh, yeah, got it. Got it. User. This should be user. You have to write the user, then you can do find, and then you can do, yeah, this should be user. You have to define the collection on which you are finding, then you can do Anshul. Sorry, I'll increase the font size a little. If I'm searching for name Anshul, I can do find, and then I can just search for that. There's also an operator. This operator can be overloaded with a bunch of things. For example, you can increment the age here. So you can do like db dot user dot find and update. Okay. And now look what I'm going to do. I can define what I want to find. So I want to find a user with the name as Anshul, Anshul, and then I want to update. I want to increment the age of this user by 5. Now look what happens. If I click uh, increment age by 5, if I just do find again, the age is incremented to 35. Okay. So this dollar increment is one operator that you can apply on uh, given. This is how you can update. There are different ways of updating. So you can update a value like this. There are other ways. You can uh, and again, if you have any doubt about it, the best way would be to just go to chat gpt and ask questions. So I'll ask a question in front of you. uh, so can you use this command on command prompt also? Yes, you can use command prompt, but I'm not sure how to add it. So you will have to pardon me for that. uh, can it Can it search for Anshul case sensitive? Yes, it can search for Anshul, and there is a way you can do it. So what you can do is you can do find Anshul, and then you can define options. In the options, you can define a particular option which is called as I'm forgetting the name of the option. Uh, just give me 1 second. Mm, Case sensitive option in MongoDB find is the option. Uh, no, no, just go back. MongoDB, MongoDB find collection dot find. In this, there is an option called as there are three things that it needs. First is the query. Second is uh, sec- wait a second. Second is options. So in the options, you have bunch of options. Uh, are the options see available options? Now I go to find options. In this, there is an option called as C. I'll have to search collation. If you do collation is equal to true, uh, yeah, specify collation string for output operation. So collation is going to define what are the collation options you have. Case level, local, max variable. So in this, there is normalization. No, strength, max variable, level, alternate. Collation options defined in command start operation. Why is this not giving? Just a second. There's a way you can do case sensitive collation. Collation case sensitive. Colla- Collation for case insensitive. Mm, MongoDB. MongoDB sensitivity. Yeah, collation. Yeah, this one local en. This is what you have to write. So I'll go back to my script. Sorry, case sensitive. Yeah, so I can come here and write collation. Is collation inside brackets? No, collation is without it. So I can just do collation, and then I can do uh, is it local en. If I do local uh, en, I'll just remove this, and I'll just remove this and this local en. And here, what I'll do is I'll make it a small a. Run this, and it finds no. Just do strength also. Strength this. Uh, if I am I making the wrong mistake? This property has to be true. Delete this part. I paste it again to create a bracket. Let me do Anshul. If I do Anshul, it's not finding. Okay, so I'm not sure. I think that was the command. Um, okay, let me try it this way. Let me make it as a string. And let me make locale also as a string. And I'll remove strength. I run this. No, of course you can do regex, but this collation command also. Collation also does the same thing. Uh, I've just seen the solution few minutes back. That is one. This is one option. Uh, yeah, strength will be one. So I'll just come here and I'll just write strength, strength to be one. From this, remove this and this and this and this. No, not finding. Am I making a spelling error? strength 1. That is correct. Uh, Strength is when you define strength as 1, it means you are insensitive. If you define strength as 2, it is sensitive. Hmm. Uh, this should be working. Local en should be in single quotes. Will that change anything? Mm, Uh, uh, Let me check. No. Sir, are you trying to find case sensitive command? No, I'm. There was an option. This collation option is basically going to give you the results which are case insensitive. So that's what I understand from coalition, but I'm not sure how it works without with. So I'm not sure how it is working here. So ideally, it should return. um, Okay, let me show you how you can do it using regex, and then maybe in future videos I'll show you how to do it with coalition. I'm not sure how it is happening right now. Let's see how to do it in regex. What you can do is you can do name is dollar regex, and then the name would be Anshul, and then you can write it like Anshul, and then you can do uh, dollar option as I. When you do this, it will be case insensitive. So if I run this, it finds it. Dot collation, I'm not sure about dot. Let me check. So this is how you can do case insensitive using regex, but I'm not sure why it is not working with collation. If I just do this dot collation, okay, I'll just do user no dot collation no. If I do Ian, okay, object. So I'll just do it. Local colon en comma strength strength as one in this. Okay, yeah, and yeah, exactly. So that's how you can use collation here. Yeah, elsewhere you can directly use collation. So previously you could have used collation directly inside the find function, but right now this command is not working. So you have to use collation outside. Yeah, I'll show again. So here, so I'll show this command. It, previously, this was possible. Previously, you could have written this code and it would have worked. But now you have to do collation after the find operator. Okay, Karan? This is not working, but this is working. Sir, what are the commands if we add a database, create collection and add entry, delete, etc., etc.? What's index? Index we are going to discuss more in upcoming lectures, Avijit. There will be a complete lecture, the third lecture. On Saturday, I'll do a complete lecture on indexes. Okay. You can get all the commands on, you can get all the commands, any relation with collation? I'm not sure. Maybe there is some relation between collation and index. Yeah. While searching on index, you can use collation. Collation is a general option you can use while searching something. That is the idea behind collation. It's a general command. It has bunch of options that you can use, and whenever you are searching anything related to string, you can do it. Okay. Yeah, there are a bunch of commands that you can get for that are there you can use. First of all is show is a command. So show show collections. This will show you the collections. There's one collection called users. There's also insert one command. So you can do db dot insert one, and sorry, db dot user dot insert one. And in insert one, you can send an object that you want to insert. You can send name as say Avijit, and age as 24. and then the object get inserted. So now you can do db dot user dot find. If I send find without anything, then it will find everything. So if you just do find, it will give you all the data inside the table. There are a bunch of more options. You can update. There's an update command. There's find and update command. There are multiple operators also you can use in DynamoDB. Any relation, there are multiple operators you can use in DynamoDB. One of them I have already discussed. Uh, of course, there's object ID that is always there, and capped collection. Capped collection is basically, the idea is you can design while you are creating a collection. So if I click here, I can create a collection, and there are advanced options. I can create a capped collection, and with capped collection I can decide how many what will be the size, what will be the maximum size of my document, and how many total documents I'll have. So I can have order table, and if I create collection, I can define the maximum size in bytes of capped collection. So I can have maybe have a 2000 bytes or 20,000 bytes collection. Use custom collection. Yeah, you can use custom collations also. You can use a local. Here you can use whatever. This is what collection. So I'll just reduce the size. You can use custom collation while creating the index. You can decide all these options. You can decide what is the locale. Typically the locale will be English, so en. And then you can define the strength. Different strengths will have different options. Okay, one strength will be case insensitive, case level can be false and true, and all these options will be there. You can dive deep into each of these options on your own. That's not a problem. You can just go to documentation and read it. Yes, we are going to create one more lecture. You can create the collection now. This is another collection called orders. In the future lectures, we are going to create our database. We are going to run this database, and then our CRM app is going to connect to this database, this DB of our database, this CRM app DB. It will have tickets and users, two collections. We already have a user called as Vishwa, who is the admin. As soon as you run the script, this will be created, and there are a bunch of more commands. Shall we practice more CLI command to? Shall we practice more to create database, create collection in further classes? We can practice that, but I don't see a utility for that, Nilanjan. That is what I'm not sure what is the utility of it. Mostly, what you will be interested is in connecting to the DB using Mongoose, and whatever small edits you have to do, you can do directly from this window. Like everything is intuitive here. I don't see a utility in explaining all those commands. Okay. How shall we use MongoDB in our app? We will use from code. We will write code for it. Um, Let me see what I'm sharing. I'll stop sharing and let me share the whole. No. Let me share the whole screen. Uh, yeah, I'm going to end the class. Let me end the class now, because otherwise I will not be able to end the class. In the next class, we'll discuss it further. If you want, I'll also discuss some of these details, some of these commands. That's okay. Okay, but I don't see what is geospatial operator. There are geospatial data types also in MongoDB, and you can do bunch of geospatial commands on those data types. You can geospatial is basically geolocation. For example, your GPRS location is a geospatial location. So you can do bunch of commands on that. You can decide what area you are looking at, what all proximity you are looking at in that area. So that kind of details. Again, those are good to know things, but I don't see any utility for of that in our CRM app. Also, whenever you need it, you can learn it. It's not rocket science. And of course, now you have chat gpt, you can ask it what is that, and it will explain. The key point was to show you how to install MongoDB and get started with it. Give you a feel of how files look into it. In my laptop, installing. Can I do some? MongoDB is not installing. Can I do same with Mongo Atlas? It will cost you some money, Navneet. Yeah. So try to see what is the error, and maybe you can use the free version of Mongo Atlas, MongoDB Atlas. It will require a little bit more configuration, but it should work. Okay. Anyone else has any other problem? I want to end the class now. I'll end the class and go back to Chat GPT. Bye everyone. I hope you have a good class. Good night, everyone. Thank you. Good night. Bye.